Jack Tuckner again, back here. I'm wearing my hat so you'll recognize me because I'm standing here on an empty street in Madrid. You can see how social distancing is everywhere. And I decided, being I'm making a video a day to try to add some value and be helpful during this crisis, I thought I would use my holodeck purchased at a Star Trek convention in 2002 to transport myself daily to another location, just to give you something interesting to look at beside this punum. So exempt versus non-exempt, and I'll say this is, I'll acknowledge the elephant in the room, which is we just topped 1,000 deaths to the coronavirus in the United States. The first death was less than a month ago. We're in New York, the epicenter of this crisis, and there's just a whole lot of fear that's seeping into all of us for a lot of good reasons. But let's stay focused on, and let's try to stay positive. I know I'm doing my best, trying to meditate twice a day. And I wanted to talk today about exempt versus non-exempt employees, your classification. Many employees are misclassified. And I think this is going to come up in a big way when we get over this pandemic hump and many furloughed, laid off employees are brought back, and they're either not brought back or they're brought back into the wrong classification. What is a non-exempt employee? Almost all employees, except for those who in New York earn $1,125 a week or more, which comes to $58,500 per year, and you work in a legitimate administrative, managerial, administrative, executive, or professional function, meaning that you have authority, that you have managerial discretion and authority, and it typically means you are supervising at least a couple of people, and that you have decision-making authority. And so many folks that are salaried think that. Many employers who have salaried employees think that they are so-called exempt employees, meaning that they don't have to pay overtime for one thing, but in reality, they do. Because unless you're earning at least $58,500 a year, the maximum amount under federal law is substantially less, but right now, but the categories remain the same. Unless you're truly a bona fide exempt employee due to your managerial type of professional function and the amount of income that you earn, you must be paid overtime. And many employers violate that obligation regularly. So even now, if you're working in New York and you're earning either less than $58,500 per year, or you're really not a professional, executive, or managerial administrative employee, your employer must pay you overtime. And similarly, if you're a 1099 independent contractor or consultant, and you're not really on your own and working from home and have unrestricted freedom to do exactly as you please as a contractor or a consultant, you're likely a W-2 employee. You should be paid as a W-2 employee with all the benefits that flow from that, such as paid overtime at time and a half. If you're having questions or issues with your own employment right now in terms of classification, either as you're misclassified as an independent contractor and you should be an employee, which deprives you of certain benefits, such as unemployment benefits, such as the ability to sue your employer for discrimination, for just a couple of examples, or you're misclassified as an exempt employee because you're salaried and your employer or you thought that that was prestigious and therefore you work 60 hours a week and you don't get overtime, your employer is violating the law and you need to do something about that. So feel free to call me, Jack Tuckner. If you call our office, you'll speak with Deborah Orell first and she'll chat with you, and then she'll set up a call with me and we can brainstorm about your wage and hour issues and whether you're being properly paid. Until tomorrow, when I'll see you on one of my other locations that I'm going to choose tonight, where I'd like to spend some time talking to you.